Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
We are still diamonds. Surprise.
Surprise.
We
this
are
is
live.
our first video.
First video live and in color, y'all.
Kat, this is exciting. I can't believe we're actually doing this.
I know. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so yeah, this is still Diamonds Podcast, and this is our first video, and we're excited, and we hope you are too, to see us in the flesh.
Yes, we are so excited, y'all. Starting to do videos now, so be on the lookout for those.
Right, and just bear with us as we kind of working our way through uncharted territory.
Yes, very uncharted. Bear with us.
But I will say, Kat, this background is bomb.
Oh yes, I love this background. It's urban, it's us, it's colorful.
Yeah, are we colorful?
We loving it.
Okay, so yeah, so this is, girl, I already got stuff on my teeth. Who does that?
Can't have that, girl. We on video. We on live video.
Yeah, we're good. Mwah.
Yes, we're good.
All right, so I guess we'll get started then, like we normally do, with a quote.
As always, with a quote. And
today,
the quote is for today: love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious, and you get to decide how to use them. You teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will accept and won't accept. And that is a quote by, scroll down a little bit, Ann Taylor, who is a writer.
Ann Taylor. Well, thank you, Ann, for that quote.
Yes.
And I have to agree. I think, we definitely set the tone by what we allow. We teach people, how to treat us.
Right, exactly.
What we'll accept, what we won't accept,
Yeah, boundaries. You have to set boundaries. And there's like so many definitions of boundaries. There's so many meanings, like boundaries with different people. There's boundaries with your job, boundaries with your children, boundaries with your spouse,
Facts.
So,
which brings us to our topic, boundaries.
Drum roll. I was kind of late with that.
You're good.
We working on it. We working on
it, y'all. I'm telling you, like, this is new, and we in uncharted territory right now. So just bear with us, okay?
Right. And side note, look, I love my hair, man.
Facts. It is so cute.
I love it. Look at this stretch. Look
y'all,
at this
she
stretch,
coming to
y'all.
the lock game. She coming to the lock tribe.
Look at this stretch. It's all mine. All mine.
I'm loving her lock tribe.
I'm loving her locks. Did you notice the color?
We in there. I'm actually gonna go lighter though.
I love it.
Just a little bit lighter, y'all. I just wanna, I'm feeling the red right now in this day and age.
I love it.
But yeah.
Back to boundaries.
Back to boundaries. So, side notes. As you'll kind of find out, we tend to be kind of random and sporadic, which hey,
ain't nothing wrong with
adds to our flair. So, yeah, so we were talking about boundaries, okay? And I definitely think we allow, what we teach, what we allow is what we teach people about what we will and won't accept. And I think the easiest example of that is people, whether that's a personal, a romantic relationship, whether that's a friendship,
right.
Between people. I'll definitely, I'm all about giving life experiences here. So I could definitely say, like, when I was out there in the dating scene, there was a lot that I allowed to occur that dictated how I was treated. And for the majority of the time, I'd be like, oh, I blame them for that. But really, if I look back, look at it now, hindsight is 2020. That, like, no, I allowed that to happen. I allowed that to occur, and by the grace of God, I was, that didn't dictate who my king was going to be. He's completely different. But in the beginning, that dating scene was rough. You hear me?
Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, and it can be if you don't set that standard as to how you want people to treat you. You have to tell them certain things. Like, you're not going to take this. You're not going to stand for this. Like, it's there's levels to it. So, I mean, it's difficult sometimes. Like, some people are not going to want to be around you because you are at a certain level. But, I mean, if they're not at that level, then you just have to dismiss them. Tell them goodbye.
Yeah, and I mean, even, when you think about friendships, I, again, telling some of my life story here, but, I've definitely been in situations where I was definitely taken advantage of as far as friendships. People that I thought, were really down for me, just wanted the benefit of whatever they were, benefiting from, at the and so, sad to say, but I had to, sidestep a lot of friendships, well, not a lot, but a few people that I thought were really in my corner, I had to, back away from. I didn't just be like, I'm done with you. I just realized that my growth was above them, so I had to go above them. You know what I'm saying? So
right. And if you don't set standards, like, you're opening doors to be used, to be walked all over, people are gonna think, oh, she's not gonna say no. No is a complete sentence. You have to say no to people just to, have peace in your life, basically.
And I will definitely say, I thought, I kind of came out of focus there. I would definitely say that no, for me, for a good while, was a hard word to use. I must lie, I was a yes girl. Like, I wanted to say yes to everything because I thought that saying yes meant that you would appreciate me more, you would respect me more.
People would like you.
Right, and you'd stick around, But them yeses, child, them yeses got old real quick.
Right. It basically doesn't do anything but hurt you.
Yeah, because, I mean, you get tired of getting knocked down and, banged up.
Right.
Eventually you're just like, okay, I gotta stop. I gotta stop this train right here. I have to get off.
Right. Right.
So,
then, as far as your children, like, when you're raising kids, it's like a hard thing. Like, I have a son, and I want him to have the world. I want him to have everything. But you don't want to have a spoiled child, which my son is spoiled. I will admit that my son is spoiled. But, like, it's hard to tell your kids no,
he's
especially
a sweet boy, y'all. Though my nephew's sweet.
Put it this way, he's an only child for right now. So, like, he's used to getting what he wants. He has his parents, his mom and his dad. Like, he's the only one. He's the only child. He's the only one that calls me mom. He's the only one that calls him dad. So, like, he's gonna have everything. And, like, when I tell him no, he kind of gets like an attitude. But, like, you have to set those boundaries so that they become stronger. So they understand that you're trying to build them up to, be a good teenager, a good male, a good husband, a good adult. In the real world, everybody's not going to say yes to you. And you have to teach children that from a young age, that there are boundaries.
Right. I think, too, even boundaries with families. I know for me, so I am not originally from Pittsburgh. I'm actually from Oklahoma. And when I moved here, I moved, and outside of my husband, and our family here, none of my family is here. So I know when that was really hard for me at first. I was very homesick for the first few months, but then as I came here and kind of got myself established here and whatnot, and things got better, then, of course, that dissipated. But when I got married and I started to build my family here and create my own little tribe here, I think, to some extent, your family, at least my family back home, maybe kind of felt like I kind of forgot about them a little bit. And I think would kind of run a guilt trip a little bit, about, you haven't been here, this is home, and da-da-da-da. But, you have to set those boundaries. It's like, no, I haven't forgot about you, but I also, have started a life here for myself,
Right.
And, just not, and the boundaries and, setting those boundaries and letting them know that, you can't make me feel, and he completely threw me off.
You know, it kind of makes you feel like you're deserting them, but you're really not. Like you're starting your own family.
Right. It's like not that I left them. It's just that I am building somewhere else too. And so I'm, you know, everybody's included, you know. But setting that boundary too, because sometimes I think family will definitely take advantage of that. You see that with, you know, you hear about stories like with celebrities and their family, all these people coming out of the woodwork. They know you. They just to attach themselves to you, just to say that they know you, and they take advantage of that until you set those boundaries.
Right. And speaking of family, like sometimes you have to keep people out of your business. You have to set boundaries for that. Ugh. I agree with this 100% because they'll think they know your life. They think they know your relationship with your significant other or with your child or whatnot. But, you know, it's a special relationship that you have with your spouse. You know them more than anything. Like you chose to marry them.
Right. So
set those boundaries where they're not in your business telling you, oh, you should do this or you should do that or what are you doing financially? Like how much money do you make? You know, those are things you need to discuss with your spouse.
Right.
And not have other people included in that because it's none of their business. Point blank, period.
And I think when you get married, sometimes that can be like, people want to be all up in your marriage.
100%.
You know, and if you're not careful, you doing all your talking and you be gonna let them in.
Right.
And then you gotta like stop the train somewhere because you're like, wait a minute.
And that causes dysfunction within a marriage. That can cause you to have problems with your spouse when everything was all good and then you're letting other spirits in or whatever in, giving you like this advice or so-called advice. And meanwhile,
look, it is nothing like a messy person, or not even gonna say messy, but another person that to come into your marriage and disrupt it. Facts.
Right.
They can really like throw a wrench in there.
Right. They don't understand. It's not their business. So always keep your personal life to yourself or with your spouse. Like there's no reason to include other people. Those are boundaries.
Right. I think there's a song out there too that says drink water and mind your business.
Drink water and mind your business.
That is my jam and mantra. Drink water and mind my business.
Right.
And again, that just ties into boundaries, just knowing your limits, knowing, you know, other people's limits. You know, we're talking about boundaries as far as you being the one to create the boundaries and set the boundaries, but also realize that, you know, that boundaries are set for you too, that people set boundaries for, you know what I'm saying? You have friendships that, you know, depending on who that friend is, like, you know their limit, you know their boundaries, you know what buttons to push, what buttons not to push. And it's the same thing, you know.
Right. And speaking of friendships, you have to have equal friendships. It can't be one-sided where you're always doing something, like you're always the one
going out of your way,
paying going out of your way, basically paying when you go to dinner, you know, not splitting costs,
right.
Always driving or paying for gas or whatnot. It has to be equal. Like those are boundaries also where you share. Like it shouldn't be one-sided. That's one other area where I think boundaries are important for sure.
I'll definitely say, because that was one of the things I felt like I had to create, because I feel like in some of my friendships, I have been the one to definitely feel like I was putting out the most work in the relationship, in the friendship, and I definitely had to pull back and be like, okay, this is lopsided. This is, you know what I'm saying? Now, granted, a lot of times it's maybe not the way you think it is, but in some situations it definitely is, and I definitely have been through those experiences. So yeah, boundaries.
Yeah, definitely important.
And are a beautiful thing, and it does not make you mean. It does not make you you know, anything but honest and authentic with yourself. That these are things that I'll allow, these are things that I won't allow, and it doesn't make me a bad person because I'll have these limits for myself.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, Kat, what do you think are like some healthy ways to create boundaries?
Well, for one, I think, excuse me, I'm sorry. For one, I think you should start by setting boundaries early.
Okay.
Always let it be known what your boundaries are, what your requirements are, what you will take and what you will not take. That way there's no confusion.
I agree.
With anything. Just set early. Always have that at the top of your mind whenever you're either forming relationships with friends, family, whoever. Just
at work.
Exactly. Set them early.
Don't be afraid of no. Like I said, for a long time I was a yes girl, and I had to really, put no into the vocabulary.
Right, because like sometimes you're afraid to say no. Like you're afraid to like maybe somebody's not gonna like me. Like you shouldn't
make them mad.
Right. You shouldn't have to feel that way. If somebody's truly for you, they're gonna be with you regardless.
Right, and they're gonna respect. They're gonna respect you even more, I think, because you set those boundaries.
Right. And another way to have healthy boundaries is to be consistent.
Consistency.
Right.
Gosh, I love that word.
I love it. I love it with my job too. Sometimes I think I wish things were more consistent in some ways, but yeah, definitely have to be consistent. Like don't be wishy-washy. Like make sure you have integrity. Like be the same way no matter what. Like
your word is your bond.
Right. Because I can confuse people too when you're not the same. Like they're gonna be like, right. They're not gonna know who you are. Like, who are you?
I think Medea said it like, be like a leaf on the tree. You blow this way, you blow that way, you blow this way. Consistency. Right. You can't be that way. You can't be blowing where the wind sends you. You got to be who you are and stick to it. Like no matter who's around. Right. Because if you're consistent and not flaky, then people are less apt to be flaky with you.
Right. Right. So, I guess another way is to, talk about it. Talk about your issues. Just make it known. Like, whoever you're dealing with, like, just make it known how you feel. Like, there's nothing wrong with how you feel. And people have different opinions. Like, you could be right, you could be wrong. It depends. Sometimes it depends on the way you look at it.
Right.
So, just have to trust your judgment and trust that you know yourself. Like, you know yourself. You want to go forward.
And ladies, we can talk. We like to talk. We like to get all of our emotions, our thoughts out. And don't be afraid of that. My husband tells me he don't want to talk sometimes. But, I'm going to talk. Get real good at talking.
Right. And sometimes you have to, like, start small. What do you think about starting small? Like, starting small with...
I'm go hard to go home. I think you should like just be upfront from the jump, no matter how big or how small.
Right.
Because I feel like if you start small and make it just a molehill, eventually it can get under rug swept and it become a mountain.
True.
And so I think you should. So I kind of don't agree with that, but I mean. I guess it depends on what you're talking about too.
Right.
I think with people, go hard or go home.
Right. Yeah. You just have to set healthy boundaries. Be healthy about it. Don't let it cause you stress or whatnot. And then starting small. Sometimes I think if you don't set boundaries from the beginning, like sometimes you have to gradually like transition into your boundaries. Like they're not going to understand what you're talking about. Like start small with conversation and whatnot. So
right. And I think too, starting small, like I don't want my intelligence to be insulted in the sense of, if you think you got to take baby steps with me, like, no, be upfront. This is what it is.
Straightforward.
You know what I'm saying? We're both human. We're both grown adults. It'd be different to start small if we were talking about children, but as an adult, especially in 2022. Girl, they pulled enough over our eyes in 2021, 2020, and 2019. I say 2022, go hard or go home.
You gotta pay attention to your intuition too. When something's telling you it's not right or somebody's treating you wrong, you have to pay attention to that.
I know, like, when my intuition is like gnawing at me, my stomach hurts. My stomach, it will tear my stomach. I'm serious, Kat. It will tear my stomach up, y'all. Like, it's like, something's not sitting right, something's not sitting right, something's not sitting right. And 9 times out of 10, my intuition is right.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
Right. And when you're setting these boundaries, some things that you can't do is like, don't apologize. Don't be apologetic for wanting things the way you want them.
Right.
Can't be apologetic. You have
and
to
thinking of yourself.
Right. You have to continue, with what you're saying, what your standards are. Like, don't apologize.
Right. Because it's you or them. Because guarantee, if it came down to it, they would pick them.
Right.
As far as their well-being first.
Right. And it can be uncomfortable too. Like, you may be uncomfortable with explaining like what you want, but someone that's for you, like I said, they're gonna be with you regardless. So.
And this goes back even to our previous episode, which you can check out on Spotify and our other platforms.
Yes, Still Diamonds Podcast.
Shameless plug. But when we were talking about on our previous episode, self-care, that's a form of self-care. There really is a form of self-care because, you have to, be in alignment with yourself so you can, come correct and be correct for, in front of other people and around other people.
Exactly. Speaking of self-care, I hope you guys caught our video vlog on us getting our eyebrows threaded. Self-care.
Check them out.
They're looking good, right? I always have one eyebrow that's like easier to thread or arch than the other, but
look, I'm grateful for how they looking right now. Let me tell you, real talk.
They lasting.
I hate to even bring this up, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm telling myself, I haven't had my eyebrows threaded out in a little over a year. Well,
girl, you needed that self-care. You needed it.
Listen, I'm ready for the next one. Like, you know what? And I know we talked about it, and I know this is probably, a little bit off topic, but speaking of self-care, I really want a facial. I've never had a facial. I want the whole hydrogel. I want the works. I want the works, y'all.
Yeah, I've never had a facial either, like a real good spa facial.
Yes.
I want a massage. I've never had a massage. I feel like I need a massage.
Nice. They're so nice.
Like, I don't know. I want to do it all. Like, one of these days, I want to do it all and just go out and spend my husband's money on a whole bunch of stuff and just have a spa day, like girls' day out. Like, why not?
Yes.
YOLO. Life is too short.
Get back to, look, if you saw, well, you can see them a little bit on camera, but these nails is a mess.
Oh, I'm not even putting mine up.
I didn't mean to, so if you caught it a little bit, you know what? It's real. It's real out here in these streets. And, you're doing what you can.
I'm not putting my nails nowhere. I think the last time, well, this is shame on me, but like I need to get a pedicure, a manicure, a set. Like I think last time I did all that was like when I went on vacation last summer. So these dogs is needing some care.
I need a whole day. We just need a whole weekend of self-care.
Facials, massages.
We need
nails,
we really need
feet.
to play video.
And I don't want to spend my money.
Right.
I want to spend somebody else's money.
Right. You're right about it.
We're just joking, y'all. But
we
anyway,
are shamelessly.
We don't have no boundaries right now.
Shamelessly. We are shamelessly in love with our husbands. I'm not.
Yes.
I thought we just say.
Love me some him.
Another topic for another day, but just saying. Ooh. We rock these rings proudly, okay? Yes.
Ooh, that just gave me another topic that we can talk about, right?
I'm telling you.
We're going to work on that, but stay tuned. Stay tuned if you want to hear that.
But yeah, we ain't got no sense.
Transparency, that's what it is.
Right.
Be transparent.
Yes, transparency. Like I said, just being upfront, and it goes beyond not just who you loving. It's not even just about who you are friends with or trying to be friends with, or it is in your everyday life. Because again, all of this goes back to what we just stated: self-care, self-preservation. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of home first.
Right.
So that you can be, and when I say home, I don't just mean, a physical place. I mean your well-being. Because in order for you to be of service to someone else, you have to be centered within yourself. And that means being upfront, being honest with people, letting them know off the bat where you stand.
Right. You shouldn't have to, with boundaries, you shouldn't have to feel like you're being taken advantage of.
Right.
So if you feel that way, speak up. Mm-hmm. Let them know.
And I'm going to speak for myself. I hate that. And I would, actually, before I say that, I'm going to say this. I would rather learn it now. If you're like in your early 20s, mid 20s, learn it then. Like, I hate that I learned it a little later than that, to be honest.
Right. You got to set your boundaries early.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to look back with regrets.
It will save you a lot of heartbreak, a lot of tears, a lot of frustration.
Right, because life is short. Like, you don't want to live most of your life and be angry, upset, or feeling like you haven't lived your life because you're being boggled down or held back because of somebody else. Like, boundaries. Mm-hmm. Keep the boundaries.
Yeah. Well, I think we've pretty much done our first episode.
Right. This is our first video episode.
I can't believe it. Again, like, it
was fun.
This was fun. And I have to say, this is dope. Like, we are in that thing. We're in this thing.
And this is just our first episode. So
yeah, so stay tuned.
Bear with us. Don't be talking about us now.
Unless it's good talk. But I mean, if you're going to talk, hey,
go ahead and send us an email. Give us some tips. We love tips. We grown women over here.
Right.
We accept any suggestions, or if you want to chime in on what we're talking about, give us
your thoughts. Let us know. Again, we are, we're young. We are new in this game, and willing to learn from some pros too. So give us some tips.
Right. Just trying to take our everyday conversations and put them out there. Hopefully somebody else is feeling the same way.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for conversation.
Yep. Be sure to like and subscribe. Okay? Like and subscribe. And subscribe.
At Still Diamonds Podcast.
We want friends. We want to meet, you know what I'm saying? We want some new friends.
Right. We're trying to expand this thing too. So the more we have an audience, the more we can do that. So let us know you're watching.
Yes, we want to get to know you.
Just shoot us an email, even if it's like a short email, short and sweet. We're okay with that. Just say hi.
Yeah, shoot us an email at stilldiamondspodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on all our social media pages, which we will link in the description below.
Yes, we will.
And again,
hit that notification bell so you can
know when
we are live. We might go live too. We might have some giveaways. We might be doing a whole bunch of stuff. So you definitely want to follow.
So you know what I'm saying.
Like, follow, share.
You want to be with us. We trying to build our gang. Yeah. We
trying to build something up.
We want to build our tribe. So
we ain't no troublemakers.
Come join the family.
We're not troublemakers. we ain't got nothing but love for you.
Well, again, thanks for joining us again. I'm not even sure we said our names, did we?
I'm Kat.
And I'm Shell.
And we are Still Diamonds.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Have a good one.